Welcome back to the She'll Be Right MMA podcast. We're joined by Aaron Khominsky today. How you going, Aaron?
What's up?
Oh, yeah. There we go. And Hugh Boyd as well, as usual.
Too.
Jack has left us behind for a couple of weeks, so we're picking up the slack to the best of our ability. Yeah. Well, what's this year been like so far for you?
This year, in terms of jiu-jitsu, pretty quiet. Just did the ADCC Melbourne Open. Start of the year. Just 2 matches, won that. Yeah, otherwise not too much. Need to do some more matches.
Sick.
Just training. Yeah.
Yeah, flat out. You're always around here. Yeah, what made you get into grappling? Like, why'd you start?
Get into grappling, yeah. I mean, that's the question everyone wants. Yeah, for me, so I was in like year 10. I was so I was at school. I was doing rowing, and then the situation happened where I fell into the Yarra, got sick for like 3 weeks.
Oh shit.
And then I was like, I don't like the sport rowing anymore. So it was like, I need to find something else to do. I was looking at different sports. I was like, it's like jiu-jitsu for some reason was one, because I did karate when I was younger. So it was like martial art. I was like thinking like bouldering, maybe like I like mountain biking and maybe CrossFit or something.
Yeah.
And then just like turned out like pretty soon after that, I had a family friend who went to do a trial class at like this jiu-jitsu gym. Just went down there. It was like first day, just like everything clicked and just like loved it day one. Just, yeah.
Awesome.
What position did you row?
Row, I was stroke in the 8-man, and then 4-man, I kind of got moved around a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I only know Cox. Was it Cox? Cox.
No, that's a small
Everyone
guy.
else just rows.
Yeah.
Hugh, are you managing to get up for 6 a.m. jiu-jitsu, but not for your partner?
No, I'm really lonely.
Well, if you did have a partner, you could use Vitalitea's patented aphrodisiac blend. And with our discount code, SPRMMA20, you can check out from the store, not from the bedroom, with 20% off.
Oh, yeah, that's not too hard. Unlike me.
Yeah. Like these British guys are like, these guys know nothing about rowing.
Yeah, Tom's laughing because he knows something about the sport. I'm laughing because Hugh said a position in rowing is called cuck. So
Yeah, you just watched, right?
No, they basically, yeah, literally.
It's the coach with the megaphone.
Literally,
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I go by the Yarra and I see them training or competing or whatever, I was thinking like, fuck that. The Yarra is so gross.
Bro, 5 a.m. It was 5, 6 a.m.
Yeah, there were some of those. Yeah, it's cold, and then in winter it was just like miserable. Yeah, if you fell in, I was like, you just got sick for 3 weeks. Just horrible. As long as you don't fall in, you're right. But it's when you like get into the smaller boats, it gets pretty unstable, and you make one like mistake, and then it just ends up badly.
I'm glad I never rowed it.
It's pretty fun though. Good camaraderie and everyone together. But yeah, it's hard
Does it
sport.
transfer to jiu-jitsu at all?
I felt my cardio was a lot better when I first started jiu-jitsu, like from rowing, because you'll be on the water maybe 4 days a week, and then you got your erg session and like gymming 3 times a week as well. So I felt like my cardio was a lot better.
Going to jiu-jitsu where no one trains cardio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no one even wants to run,
Yeah,
like me included.
No one even wants to show up on time.
Yeah.
No one even wants to wrestle.
Yeah.
Except you always wrestle.
Well, I haven't been resting the past month, trying to get a good guard, but
You're just working on guard at the moment.
yeah, I think for trials, need to work the guard, get the bottom game, and then a bit of wrestling just to like have decent overtime, but really get the guard going.
Good. So that's the main aim for this year, the trials.
Yeah, end of the year trials. Thailand should be good again. Good trip last time. Yeah,
And we know all the good spots now.
Thailand.
Where to get the cheapest plate.
Is that what you know?
No, none of that.
No.
You're not
In and
gonna,
out. Mine was in and out clean. 2 days trip. Lost my luggage, but worked out.
you're not going to be going to any ping pong shows this Spencer?
No.
That's not the...
No.
Not again.
No, I never went the first time. I stayed inside last time. It was good.
So we had a question from a guy that used to train with you at Dominance, and he was asking if you're still scared of his Barambolas. It was Ronan.
Ronan, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, we went to the Fusion last night. His Barambola is actually, that's the thing, like, for a big guy, if you have a good guard game or, like, a good Barambola, it's like, you can just take those guys off, like, just like, they won't see us coming and have good defenses, but he's nothing, you know. Yeah.
Was it Bilal asked, how was it rolling with him?
Rolling with him. I mean, it's probably like a mix of like just afraid and what else? Just trying to make some progress, I guess. Like just in a constant state of fear there of your ankle being broken. So
It's terrifying, eh?
yeah,
It's like any second, you slack off for a second,
yeah.
and Bilal's got your foot.
Yeah, I think collectively we've all worn his elbow down a little bit with him breaking our ankle. So at least it's a bit better now. But
He's going that hard on the wedge locks.
yeah,
What do you reckon? Where is jiu-jitsu going in terms of the meta? Like, what is the main focus that everyone should be working on?
the meta.
You reckon there's a meta at the moment? Like,
I mean, for
going-
sure, it seems like the passes are generally doing better. Like a CJI, you saw like Tackett, Cade. I mean, Levi was probably the big exception with a guard.
So I've been using these Breatheeze performance nasal strips and lip tape. So about 8 months ago, I had a surgery and I was really struggling with my snoring. And I've just been using the nasal strips and the lip tape. And that made such a difference. Julian, what is our discount code?
SBR MMA 15 to get 15% off your Breatheeze order.
Guys, link in bio, check them out.
But I mean, yeah, lots of dangerous K guards. Yeah. Trying to think like ADCC. Yeah, you don't see too many guard players. Maybe like at the smaller weights, like Pato and like Owen Jones a bit.
So it sort of depends on the rules. So like,
yeah,
that's where the meta's sort of going towards.
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say where it's going, but I do think it's definitely harder to be playing bottom, especially in like the longer rule sets you see, and yeah, the passes. Yeah,
Seems like UFC fight pass. All you have to do is kind of just stay on top.
you're talking about the field match.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision.
Yeah, it's hard to judge it. That's where the 3 rounds is a bit interesting because it's like, let's say Adele obviously clearly won the second round, and then the first and third round almost nothing happened. And even in the judges, you saw like one gave it 30-27, while the others gave it both 29-28 to Fionn. So clearly there's no like objective measurement, or they're kind of just going off what they feel like, or
Opinion-based here.
or that one ref was cooked. I don't know who that was, but
It's like CGI or whatever.
yeah,
First one.
I don't know. I mean, I think they should be going off like aggression when there's not much, which probably goes to the top person if there's not too much going on. But yeah, it's hard to judge those ones.
Do you think the ambiguity around scoring criteria is kind of like a good thing in a way, because you get people playing more aggressive games, and which would be more spectator friendly? Or do you reckon that kind of hurts the I guess the purity of the sport? Because you look at like the UFC. I mean, I follow MMA a lot closer than I do jiu-jitsu, but it's been the same problem for years that, like, you know, you'll have 2 out of the 3 judges score the fight one way, and then judge number 3 has a completely different scorecard for the fight. And there's no, like, publicly available scoring criteria. It's just like, oh, if they're winning the fight, which is like, oh, well, that's fucking helpful. Thank you. You know?
Yeah, it's hard because I guess you'd be comparing like sort of like ADCC and IBJJF, where like IBJJF would be a lot more detailed. But even then, like, you still can't cover every scenario, and like you're saying, then in IBJJF there's probably a lot more gamers just trying to edge out like one technicality in the rules and find a way to score that way. While ADCC, maybe it's a bit more vague, so you kind of just have to assume the worst maybe, and like be on the offensive. I don't know. I think, yeah, it's hard to say because like people are always going to find a way to game it, right? Even if it's like submission only, you think, okay, they can only go for subs now, but then people start just trying to rip on some shitty sub that doesn't do anything and try to get an advantage kind of that way and win a decision. And
Yeah, like the sub attempts up and they're just like really shitty guillotine attempts. or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
I like the Aiga rule, so I think that's the best one so far, actually. Like they kind of pioneered that 3 5-minute rounds, and like they still have the points unlike ADCC, but like at the first 5 minutes, but yeah, they do the 3 5-minute rounds, which the UFC is doing now, but yeah, I don't know.
They kind of shoot the reverse bit too, where it goes downwards, or at least they used to.
Aiga?
Yeah, you used to have like
really?
a reverse bit, like instead of like walls being upwards, they were downwards. So when you went off the mat, you,
Just go further down?
yeah, you gained more momentum.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
The platform.
Yeah,
I think the UFC one's actually really good.
yeah, the bowl. The
Yeah,
bowl.
it looks stupid, but it's actually
Been watching the new series, the UFC
I
BJJ.
saw. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I saw some posts today. Craig was saying like he reckons the numbers are faked, but
Yeah.
I mean,
First 2
Maybe.
episodes had like 1 million views, and then the next few down to like tens of thousands.
I mean,
okay.
nah, it was like 100,000. But
Mm.
I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable that the first episodes would get the most attention. But
I think as well as like the athletes on the show, their accounts haven't really spiked as
Yeah,
well.
that's what
Like
Craig said.
apparently, was it CGI? Andrew Tackett had quite a bump, like 20,000 extra followers because of CGI.
yeah, I saw Craig posted that. Who knows? Yeah,
The numbers, we need to see the numbers.
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe once the full season's out, they'll gain some more. Or
I don't even know. Like, do you reckon you could buy that many fake viewers on YouTube? Because we could use.
You can buy a lot. You can buy a lot. Yeah.
Tom
anyone-
agrees.
Yeah.
He's like, I do that.
If anyone wants to donate.
It should be right. It's gonna be the next. It's gonna be like Theo Von, Joe Rogan, then us.
When this
Well,
episode
hey,
is like
it's-
50K
this-
views,
It's going to be an overnight success, bro. We're going to go from, averaging about 100 to 20 million.
Just then we can do this podcast.
a lot of bots.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
in a bowl.
No, they're
Or
all
some
real.
heaters, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing. Probably should put the heating in next. Okay. Yeah. So the bowl.
I think it's good because the pit, like we saw with the Giles trials here, especially in that like Euros and Tito match, when he got kind of pinned in that corner, and then it's just kind of ends up being a stalemate where person on top can't really pass because there's no space. Person on bottom just stuck on both sides, and then you can't really do anything. While in that bowl, you've got this benefit of not being able to get out of the bowl, but you also can't get stuck anywhere as well. So I think it's actually pretty good.
Do you think doing like an Ultimate Fighter style TV show is the way to grow jiu-jitsu for like, I don't know, normies? Like just average people who've never paid attention to combat sports before, and they see like Mikey Musumeci debating about like constraints-based approach, right? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, hard to say because you need entertaining people for a TV show.
I think with the contracts, it makes it a bit weird for other like shows. Because like a lot of athletes, I feel like didn't want to do the UFC BJJ show because they have the champions clause.
What's that?
Whereas like if you win the show, I think you're signed to UFC BJJ.
Fight Pass, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fight pass.
Yeah.
Which I feel like they could have gotten. They got a lot of great athletes, but I feel like they could have had a few different better athletes.
Well, it all depends how much they're paying them, I guess. That like if it's worth it.
If you're feeling, it's definitely you're getting a good amount.
Yeah.
If you're Mikey, it'd probably be something ridiculous. But then if you're someone like, I don't know, there's some people on the shows, I have no idea who they are. They probably like wouldn't be getting
Yeah.
much.
But it's a good opportunity as well. Like
It's sort of growing the sport in a way if we get a different audience, like because it's on the UFC YouTube page.
yeah, well they're promoting it and
You know, like, I've checked the comments too. It seems like the show's getting like a non-jiu-jitsu audience as well.
Good.
So I think like in the way that with the contracts, it's sort of stopping the sport growing, but at the same time, getting a larger audience now.
Yeah. It would be so cool if those exclusivity contracts to these like big organizations weren't as big of a thing, because it's always like super exciting when you get cross promotional things going, right? So like when they signed Demetrius Johnson over to one championship from the UFC, he had some crazy, I think it was like some insane contract. Like he was getting a lot to switch over, and they traded in Ben Askren, right? And when did Demetrius Johnson retire? Maybe like a year ago, right? They could have done, they were talking about doing like Pantoja versus him, and you'd have like two champions from different organizations.
Aren't they completely different weights? Or no?
The one's flyweight is in UFC's bantamweight, but they have different rules around weight cutting. So they have a hydration test. So usually when fighters cut weight, it's like usually just water, right? Like a lot of guys are crazy dehydrated when they weigh in. And that's how you get guys like, I don't know, who walks around a crazy high weight. I don't know, Paddy Pimblett when he's like obese outside of fight camp, right? And then he's like 90 something kilos, and then he weighs in at 70. Or yeah, that's his weight class, lightweight, 70 kilos. So there, it's like a 10-pound difference. So it's from like 56 to 61 kilos. But yeah, there was like all this interest around that, and they were, you know, the UFC wasn't having a bar of it. They're like, no, we're not doing this.
Which part?
We're not doing a cross promotional thing. Yeah.
Well, they probably see like they've got less to gain from it, I guess, or they're the bigger brand and audience.
One is bigger in Asia than
you know more about MMA than me. Is ONE FC, do they have fake audience members? Is this real?
I don't know anything about that. Is that a thing going around? That they've got fake audience members? I don't know.
There's rumors.
Okay. I know that they're, in terms of size, they're the equivalent to like what the UFC is in America. But for Asia, they're massive. When they used to stream on YouTube, they'd have, you know, like 50, 60,000 concurrent viewers at, like during the prelims. It's pretty good. Yeah, pretty nuts. Yeah. They're cool because they were doing multiple martial arts on the same card, right? Like early on. Yeah. And then they added, originally it was just like kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA. And then they added like grappling into the mix.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's only like one match usually, right?
Yeah. I think
was it like Dante and I forgot who he faced in the last card, or
they did
Dante and Nicola.
The Rotolos were champions over there, weren't they? I think.
They're MMA.
They've fought MMA now. Oh no, is it Cade? Cade's fought MMA. Yeah.
I think that one champion's in like MMA and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Should be.
It's pretty wild. The grappling level at one in terms of MMA isn't great too, so they would have just cleaned up.
Very good. Fight a Sambo guy.
Yeah.
I was just watching that Mikey had a match on there with the Mongolian guy.
I think
and he just like tore his he was tearing his leg for like 5 minutes.
Is that the one where you see it literally?
It looks like everything's not right in his there. Yeah.
Those are rough.
The dude's just not tapping.
Why? What's the point? You're gonna be out for
I don't know. He didn't tap. He didn't get tapped, you know? It's a victory.
In his head, he's won.
I don't know.
He lost the fight, but he's won the battle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe his coach was gonna disown him or something, but
when are you gonna start doing grappling breakdowns again? Because those were sick, man.
Yes.
Those are really, really
Grappling
good. Like
Wizard.
really detailed. Yeah, the grappling wizard on Instagram.
I've made some. There's probably like 6 or 8 I've done, but yeah, I was thinking of how to structure it, because initially it was just getting the clips, just kind of highlighting like the interesting parts that people are doing, and then it's for like people to watch it themselves and like think about it themselves why like that person's doing something and like what's that trying to achieve, and but then it seems like people want it already broken down for them more as well.
Okay.
Like explaining why it is, even though I don't know if I feel like I'm in a position to do that, but
I think there's definitely an audience for you not to give everything away, right? Like if you're trying to make it educational, people kind of have to learn, you know, put the pieces together themselves to an extent, right?
Yeah.
So if you're giving that outline, I think that should be enough, right?
Yeah. Well, it was from yeah, I kind of stole it from. Well, we can talk about this later, but nah, I kind of just stole the name from like there's this thing called it was like site called GDO Wizard.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, it's for like poker and
Oh.
using like
okay.
like game theory. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
the same idea where it's like there you can basically you run like simulations and you can find it tells you what to do, but like that or like that raw information of telling you what to do isn't that useful. It's like the concepts and like the reasoning behind the actions.
Yep.
That's why I kind of called it Grappling Wizard because like it's kind of similar idea. It doesn't matter like if this guy is doing a knee cut but he's putting his hand on the ankle or his knee here or his head there. It's more trying to figure out like why he's doing that and then because obviously there's different ways to achieve like the same outcome. Like if I want to pin the far hip, there's lots of ways I can pin the far hip. So it's like for people to think about it that way. That was like the idea. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What do you think?
Good.
yeah.
I think I like the breakdowns, honestly.
Yeah.
They're good. They're bringing back. Grappling
Yeah.
Wizard coming back soon, guys.
Yeah, I've got some.
He has to now.
I have some Kit Dale ones. He's been tearing it up lately. I made some of him. There's like the Moody passing.
Yeah, that's a good sequence. I feel like everyone should be learning that.
Oh yeah, his passing looked really good.
Like if you're passing Kaya, we all know how tough Kaya's guard is.
Oh, yeah,
Kaya's
he
legs fully bend 180 degrees. So to pass that guard.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, and he was passing that in like 2 seconds. And even Bilal's like he's tough to pass and definitely just
to avoid
pressuring him.
entering into Bilal's leg locks is so.
Oh yeah,
It's a battle.
yeah.
You trained heaps with Kit when he was down here. What was that like?
Kit, yeah, he's good. Like he's got this style where he's just mastered like his game plan. Like he's got his wrestling. Like he doesn't do too many things. Like he does his like where he controls both wrists, looking for like arm drags or underhooks or like underhook throw by. Like he hit on Zhangji and maybe like off the overhook, some like trip and fireman's and like he just like condenses his game where he makes you go into this narrow path. And then basically, like, he'll just take you down. And then he's just going to his passing, which is just kind of like flattening the hips and sprawling on you. And then just looking to, like, get outside the legs or over under or something, like, where he's just, like, narrowed it down. Like, even in close guard, he's just still doing that same sprawling, like, Sao Paulo style. Like, he's not changing anything to stand up or... So he's just really good at condensing the game to a very small area that he's... excellent at. While you might be good at all these other things that he just won't let you get to. Like maybe you got a really good, whatever, I don't know, De La Hiva, but he's just not going to let you get to a strong De La Hiva or so he's going to narrow it down to where he's like been training for 20 years and just crush you there basically.
Yeah.
And he's like really hard to pin down and yeah, so he's always going to be either wrestling, standing with you or passing. Like,
do you think that's more effective than, I guess, the whole jack of all trades is master of none? Do you reckon that sort of more isolated style where he's got his few things that he's always aiming for is more effective than someone who maybe is doing like, I don't know, has 30 different, options that they can sort of sort through?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, ideally, you'd want to max your stats and everything, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, even like, you can only work on so many things in a certain period of time, right? So I guess if you wanted to perform better in training or competition, if you can like specialize or like choose like a narrow game that's going to help you, right? Because you can always, like with wrestling, the fight starts on the feet. So basically, it's either they wrestle with you or they pull. So you know that if you're good at wrestling, you're good at passing. So if either you take them down and they're on the ground or you pull, then you're going to be passing, and he's like good at passing, and then that's all he really needs. Like even his sub game's not that great, so all he needs is his wrestling and his passing. While if you want to get a good guard, then sure you can choose to pull guard, but now you got to be able to deal with their passing, and if they pull guard, now you're in a different situation, and there's just a few more variables, I think. And because maybe you're a good passer, but your wrestling is not good, now it's going to be more difficult to force a situation where you're passing because you're going to have to sweep them from bottom instead of maybe them just pulling guard or you taking them down. Or so I think sweeping is going to be a lot more difficult than taking someone down or beginning to pass. Like, so if you can narrow it down that way. But I think ultimately long term you want to be good at everything, right? So it's just choosing, like, do I focus on maybe wrestling and passing as a good combination, or do I choose like guard and leg locks straight away, or do you try to become an all-round at everything? But then, like, you're never going to be really great at any one area.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's going to take forever to get decent.
Yeah, and then it's like, if you want to win comps early on, it's going to be pretty difficult if you're trying to work everything straight away, probably. Instead of someone who's like only working like some guard and like leg lock attacks or something, or that guy who's just wrestling and then he knows he can either take you down and win on that way, or start passing. So I think if you just work everything, it's going to be a bit difficult.
Yeah. There you go.
But then you see, like, Gordon Ryan now, obviously he's like good everywhere. Like, doesn't matter if he pulls or wrestles or
Yeah. But then, he's a unique case, right? And he's also been training for all day, every day.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. But I like that Danaher style of, like, work on your guard, because at least you can always choose, like, not either choose or you can always play guard. If they take you down, you're going to be playing guard, right? But if your whole game's to pass and then you get taken down, now you're kind of just, you don't know what to do, right? But you can always play guard, right? Either you choose to pull guard or they take you down, now you're playing guard. So you work from, like, the bottom up, and then you develop your leg locks or whatever, and you get good at that. And then once you've got that as a base, you start working into your passing or your wrestling. And so I like that idea. Because you'll always be on bottom, whether you choose to or they take you down, or. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's really, really insightful.
Yeah, because otherwise it ends up being like just coming to mind now is that match with Elijah Dorsey and Joseph, where it's like maybe Dorsey's wrestling is as good as Joseph's, or it's a similar level. I don't know, but Joseph knows that his passing is way better than Dorsey's guard. So even if he takes that sort of closer battle in the wrestling to get on top, rather than pulling guard and letting Dorsey be in that position where he's good at when he's passing, so like he can force the wrestling there and get Dorsey to a position where he's bad.
Okay.
If that made any sense.
No, that did. Just absorbing like a lot of really good information. Just taking a while to process. Yeah.
Basically, what I'm just saying is if you have good wrestling and good passing, but your guard's not great, then like someone can choose to game you by taking that risk in the wrestling.
Yeah.
To get you on bottom where you're way worse.
Yeah. You're gonna eventually end up there anyway. Yeah. Smart.
Now, methods of learning. What is you got a favorite way of learning, like ecological, drilling, bit of both?
Yeah, I would start with. Got some dogs barking.
There's a dog being tortured.
It's been going forever.
Welcome to St Kilda.
This is Jack.
It stopped now. I think it hurt us. Dog's hearing's pretty powerful.
It got self-conscious.
He's like, I'm ruining the Shilby Ride podcast.
Yeah.
All right. How should everyone be learning, Aaron?
Yeah, I think I'll start with. I'll start with this. I think you have to, whatever way you're learning, you have to understand everything conceptually. I think that's what I think at the moment, anyway. Like whether you're like, even you see like Levi drilling or something, he still understands what he's doing conceptually. Like he's not just doing movement patterns. He's maybe doing movement patterns, but he's in his mind, he's thinking about, getting the feet facing away or getting their hips turned away, or there's some more conceptual thought behind it. Not just, okay, my coach told me to put my hand here, and we go here. I think you have to understand it, like the concepts behind everything. Or you do the ecological, but then you'd have to have a coach who's kind of putting those concepts into a situation or explaining it to you through that way. But I think, yeah, you just have to understand like the principles behind everything. That's the main thing. Like when Joseph first came and did a seminar, that's where he mentioned Rob Benaki, who I don't know if you know, but he has like his like website BJJ concepts and stuff, and he has a good course on like the core concepts and principles. And basically it's just understanding basic human mechanics. Maybe it's like alignment, where it's like whether they have like base, or like that's going to be like what's supporting you on the ground, your posture, your spinal alignment, your structure, so like your skeleton, how like when you're like when you're being efficient or inefficient, like using your muscles or your bone structure, and what else, like center of gravity, just understanding things like that. And then it makes it easier to understand like when like there's this video of Kit saying something which sounds kind of stupid, but it does make sense, where it's like a sweep is just removing base and pushing someone with force into that direction. So it doesn't sound that useful, but I don't know, when you play, like, I don't know, train with that thought a bit more, then it's like, okay, when I do a tripod sweep or something, for example, it's like all I'm doing is removing his base, which is his ankle, pushing him at the hip in the direction where he doesn't have the base of his foot, and now you're going to sweep him. And then things like that make it easier, where it's like I don't have to think about which grip, like I don't have to think about which grip I'm going to use now. All I'm thinking is, okay, I'm going to move his base in a direction, which is like it's mostly going to be like your hand or your foot, right? If I can remove that, push you in that direction, I can sweep you. And so like you have to understand things conceptually like that, I think. Yeah. In my opinion, anyway.
Do you think the style of teaching should, or maybe the style of coaching should depend on the amount of participants are in a session? Like if you have a smaller group with more time, do you think that's the right time to have that more sort of games-based, ecological coaching style, right? And then if you have a huge class, like some of the evening classes here, like crazy, and that's the time to have the more traditional, like here's a technique, here's a technique, here's a technique drill.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. I mean, I haven't had too much experience coaching, but from my limited experience, I feel like it'd be the opposite, maybe, actually. Like, in a big class, it's almost easier to do a game, just because you can't give people as much individual attention. So a game kind of lets them work a bit more live and maybe figure out their mistakes that way, or make their mistakes that way. While in a smaller group, you'd almost rather them just put them in a position and make them like just ask their partner like for feedback and give them a bit of resistance up to their level. And then let's say like I had a class of like, it was literally like 4 or 6 people, like, and I can then go around and give them, if they have a question straight away, I can help them with that. But in a big class, I can't really give them too much feedback, because obviously there'd be a lot of people, right? So I feel like in a big class, a game would be almost easier, just because there's less direction needed. Like if I just say like, all right, we're warming up, like don't let their feet face you or something, it's pretty self-explanatory, and there's not too many questions that can come up that they probably can't figure out themselves, or then ask in the class. Well, I feel like if you drill something in a big class, that's where people get a lot of things wrong and not remember it well. And
If we were to take 2 guys never trained before jiu-jitsu at all, and we put one on just ecological and one on drilling, like just drilling, they can't specific train, they can roll, but they can't specific train. Which do you think would go further?
Ecological for sure.
Ecological?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You little fuck around.
But the problem with the ecological is you need a good coach who's going to think through these games and give you good situations to work on as well. Because you can't just have, like, even sometimes I'll do some games and then it's kind of shit, and like you need to really think through them and think about what's the desired, like what skill do I want them to improve on, and then what constraints are gonna emerge, like help that skill emerge. Because sometimes you think like you're gonna give them some constraints, but then it ends up they'll go around it or do something weird, or so. But and then drilling, I think it's just gonna be it's just you're gonna forget things. Like you just can't remember everything.
Yeah.
So
Without the resistance as well, you truly don't understand like why you're doing the move and how it works.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's gonna take longer to figure out mistakes, and because you're gonna drill it, but then all that time spent drilling when you go live, it's not gonna work. While you could have been going, like I prefer going live with not 100% resistance, but at least like some sort of resistance to where you're still succeeding. Like this, I think like Lachlan's talking about like the challenge point hypothesis, where like you're succeeding like 70% of the time or whatever, but there's still like that 30% where you're not succeeding, and so it's gonna like push you to, all right, so like whatever, let's use that. Like don't let the feet face them, and then okay, maybe he ties me up, and then I can on that like that 8th time that he tied me up, I can figure out okay, what did he do to why was he able to get me here, and yeah, I don't remember where we started with that, but yeah.
Greg Souders, the coach for Team Americas for CGI, you had like a week-long mini beef with him. What happened there? What was the
I love Greg Souders. No, I don't have any beef with Greg. I think it's just funny when you make claims that like you can't entangle someone with a what do you say? You can't entangle me if you don't have inside position. Yeah, like you make a claim like that, like you gotta be ready for some something coming back to you. But then he's saying there is no outside position, and then it just becomes all weird. Like
okay,
I think Greg's doing good things. But it'd be interesting to like take a seminar or a class with him and see how he works through some positions. Particularly, I'd be interested with like finishing submissions and something of that nature, because I feel like the broader stuff, the games are really good, but then finishing submissions, even with just the concepts, I feel like it's a bit hard live to do. Or even like this week, let's say like we're working on some like braking mechanics. I don't know, it feels good to, you get your partner there, try different positions, what feels worse, what feels better, get their feedback, maybe ask them to give you a bit of resistance. Well, I feel like if you just start in that position and they just said go, maybe you wouldn't be have the time, or would there be too much resistance straight away? So it'd be interesting how they figure out those things. But I think Greg's doing good stuff. Be interesting because he's coaching the North America team, right? So for the CGI. Yeah.
I still just can't believe he called you a dunce, bro.
That was so funny.
That's like calling someone's girl a Jezebel. Like,
Yeah, it's like
it's a wild term no one's heard in a while. Dunce.
yeah.
I had to search it up. Yeah.
Oh really?
I wasn't aware of this.
Gee, dunce.
There we go. I know.
You're not a dunce. Just I don't dance.
I'll claim it.
He's a grappling dunce.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg.
So there's an offshoot. It must be someone we know, or it is someone we know, and I'm 90% sure I know who it is, but it's been driving the 5 of us crazy for the last couple months. The guys who did the Nordic Brawl stuff. For the first month, we thought it was Aaron, right? And then,
Zach came in and literally screamed. He was like, "Aaron, I know your Nordic brawls." Like in the middle of the class. Like,
yeah. Orcus. There you go.
do you have a prediction? Like,
Nordic Brawls.
who it could be?
I don't know. I still think it's Tom, but
Our cameraman, Tom, he was on the list.
I feel like everyone else would be too lazy for it.
Tom does like Skyrim.
I'm sure he likes Skyrim. Yeah.
Hey, it's a great game. Skyrim's
Yeah,
I'd be amazed if it was just everyone on the Should Be Right podcast but me.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's so quickly he goes like, "Oh, I'm convinced it's all of you playing a prank on me."
Yeah, I fully wigged out. I was like, could be him. Everyone's against me.
the big conspiracy.
It's I know who it is.
Oh, you know who?
Yeah, I know who it is. Yeah, there are people in the CBD, but
CBD.
CBD.
Oh, so it's Ritoli.
No, it's not Ritoli.
It's not Ritoli.
It's not Ritoli. No.
Who else would do it?
No, there's
Gabe.
No, not Gabe. Not Gabe. There's
CBD.
desk people. So
You reckon it's Tony?
no, Tony knows something.
But then why are there so many of Zach?
because
Zach doesn't even go to
Pretty
CBD.
memeable, to be fair.
because it's pretty funny to make fun of Zach. It's pretty.
That's true, but who would know Zach that well from CBD? What, Togi? Yeah, who else? I don't know who else on the desk.
It's
Zach's close to so many random people.
my theory, and I'm gonna
Your
censor.
theory. You said you know.
Okay,
who it is.
okay,
He was convinced.
okay. It's Connor Evans.
Multiple people.
Yeah, Connor
Yeah,
Evans.
Julian's convinced it's multiple people.
No,
It's a
it's-
big
Who told you
operation.
it is?
It's Connor
Like they
Evans.
have a headquarters.
Liam Jameson, and I know he's involved.
Jaden?
No, not Jaden. So
I
these
don't think it's
two.
Jaden Ho.
I don't
No.
know. He's
These two. Liam Jameson is one of the desk guys in CBD. Very good boxer.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's another guy that I'm pretty sure he's involved somehow. You know who? You know Evan? He does wrestling in the CBD.
How do these people know Zach?
Yeah. Why are they? How do they know Zach?
Everyone knows Zach.
But like that close to a point,
Yeah.
they're like memeing him.
Connor.
Connor. Nah. How does Connor know Zach? Who told you this?
Huh?
Who is
I
first?
walk into the CBD gym.
Yeah.
I come around the corner. I say hi to Tony, and he looks at me and he says hi. And then, Ethan Parent. I forgot about him because his address.
So you think
is
it's
on the-
4 people?
Well, no, his
All these
address
people-
was on the. His address was the shipping address that you order the shirts from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I walk in and Liam, Ethan, and Connor are in the back right corner. No, sorry. Ethan and Connor are in the back right corner and have the most awkward looks on their faces ever. And I say hi, and they typically will interact. What, do you think I'm going schizo?
You're going big on this.
Typically, they're very they're fine. They're so awkward. They go, oh, hi. And then they look down.
Yeah.
You thought about
Liam
this.
Jameson comes in, and I go, all right, I know you're involved. Can you make sure I get my shirt? I ordered it 3 weeks ago. And he goes oh, yeah, I'll make sure you get it. So, that's surely he's involved, right?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah. If it's his address, I don't know. I don't feel like someone would someone be smart enough to change their address.
The shipping address?
You'd hope
right?
It
so.
could be like a Black Mirror episode. It could just be like AI.
Four
Like, there could be
people,
just
that
no one
sounds-
behind it.
Be the beginning
Just
of
a
the
program.
AI takeover is making fun of
Yeah, AI is attacking
niche
our
combat sports
insecurities.
podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it's uprising.
Yeah.
But did they even know about the podcast?
Yeah.
At the start?
Yeah.
Because the Nordic Brawl started right after, no? Or...
Immediately after.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Phil knows who it is.
Bro, so far you got like 8 people on a grand
No,
conspiracy.
I've got.
They haven't even posted in a while, haven't they?
No, they haven't.
Yeah, not a
Yeah,
we miss
exactly.
you guys.
Yeah. I just want my fucking shirt, bro. I paid
Have
for
you
it.
not received your
No,
shirt?
I paid for it. It's been 4
Oh.
weeks. It's been 4 weeks.
Aaron Mars got his.
Yeah. Everyone
You
except for
haven't
me,
received
bro.
yours.
Well,
Everyone's
you
got it
need
except for
someone
me.
who would have designed all the gear, set up the
I reckon
Shopify,
Jaden Ho might be involved.
does the video editing.
Oh,
Nah, I don't know.
Ugh.
It's, it's a lot of effort.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Who
if
made
Tom
all the
Hanks-
merch for that?
Yeah, that's impressive. Eh? Like someone put some time into it, bro. They're making more money than us now.
Yeah, and the Shopify. Do you have to?
Yeah.
Pay, do you have to pay for the Shopify?
I
Or
don't think
how's that?
Shopify.
You can do a
It's
free trial.
right?
Yeah, there's a 2-week free trial. And I'm pretty sure the website, the actual shop is down now. So they
Is
just
it?
had
Ah,
for
so
the
they just
2-week
had a free
now.
trial.
Okay,
Okay.
You
Yeah.
might never get a shirt. Bro.
Yeah. All right, I want my money.
Hey,
back.
Triple C, here we come.
Yeah.
I'm getting a payout.
Yeah, we're gonna sue Nordic Brawls podcast.
That's how we truly find out who's behind it.
The next episode is gonna be with a lawyer, and we're gonna be talking about how we can shut them down.
We got a podcast lawyer, right, on retainer.
Podcast lawyer.
Was it Henry, right?
Henry, yeah, Henry's
Henry's
a lawyer.
on retainer.
Oh,
Is it work?
Apparently.
It's over for them now until we bring Henry in.
Either that, we'll just use AI lawyer. You know, we're gonna fight AI.
Or
with
you
AI.
chat GPT to make a case.
Yeah, you just gotta do hypotheticals and then chat GPT, because they can't actually give you legal advice.
Yeah.
But maybe that's how we find out who Nordic Brawls is. We do a legal proceeding about Julian's missing shirt.
Yeah.
Do you have to have an ABN to make a Shopify or
Sure.
sell that or
You need the
Yes.
GST.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, I need to look that up.
ABN lookup?
Do you know Tom?
Oh, I wonder if we could ABN. Look up the website.
Whoa. There we go.
Look at that. This is the best investigation so far. We literally pulled out the whiteboard a few weeks ago and did the whole investigation. And then we just
Yeah.
Turns out it's Zach just...
that'd be amazing.
Nah, it's too much effort. like when they did the merch, I was like, someone's putting a lot of effort into this, you know?
There was like 8 different designs.
Yeah.
Like you got different sizes for each. Yeah. Whose mum's house is just full of t-shirts now.
There's a guy who trains here who's friends with who I'm friends with, and is friends with Jack and stuff. You know, Big John Lolo? Yeah. One of his friends from how long? They've known each other for a while. But Kieran here trains here as well. And he came in wearing one of the Nordic Brawls rash guards, and it's the ink, terrible quality.
No wonder they're like
ink,
$40 or
the
something.
ink leaked on the mats. So for like 3 or 4 days, there was this blue splotch. Just
Is that
like
what that was?
Yeah. That was the Nordic Brawls rash guard. Yeah.
What factory did they find this?
Yeah, that's not going to be the She'll Be Right merchandise. The She'll Be Right merchandise, when that comes, it's going to be the
good merch.
finest, pristine quality.
Exactly. Out of the most expensive sweatshop in China.
That's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Jack wants to do cruelty free, but
Cruelty, come on.
yes.
That's
I want-
expensive.
I
That's
want-
expensive, bro.
I want
Cruelty-free.
extra cruelty in the
It's
merchandise.
cheaper, yeah.
Yeah, it adds value, right?
Honestly, it raises our profits
12 people died to make this shirt.
to wear your local MMA podcast
That's how you get donations.
Yeah. It's a reason to up the price. Yeah, we have to pay out their families.
Yeah.
Please spend more. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's actually wild.
So you've got 80cc trials later in the year, but what else is coming up?
Nothing right now. I mean, I need some comps in there. I mean, there'll be like nationals, pan packs for sure. Or, I don't know. If there's a super fight, that'd be good. If I can get one before then.
Anyone you got in mind for the super fight?
No one in particular. I mean, Eamon would be good to fight. Not combat jiu-jitsu, but
Yeah.
I'm good normal jiu-jitsu. Yeah, no one in particular, but just to get some more experience would be good.
Yeah, he's quite good, isn't he? He's
Yeah, he just beat
Khan.
Yeah, that was a good match. Like Khan had him in half guard at the start there, just gave him some good shots on top, and then Eamon somehow like got out, and then Khan turtled or something, just body triangle, and then that was like that for the rest of the match. Just
Good strategist, Eamon, honestly. Pretty athletic.
he's good back control.
Yeah, Khan's no chump either. Like he's pretty good.
I thought when Khan had him in half guard there, just like give him some good strikes, I thought like that'd be it, but he did well.
Would you ever do combat jiu-jitsu?
Only if I know I'm gonna just destroy the other person. I don't want to get
the money's going to be right too, eh?
Yeah,
The risk
no.
of potential brain damage.
Yeah.
Has to be a weight mismatch.
Yeah.
He's the one like just a little kid.
I don't know. Just someone who's not gonna hurt me.
My younger cousin.
Who wants their green belt? Let's go.
That's just Christmas time, honestly.
Well, I was thinking it's just like the Craig one and Cowboy or something, right? Where he subbed him pretty quick, I think.
Yeah.
Remember that? Or
Yeah.
That's the way
Yeah.
you want to go about it. Maybe like
just
UFC fighter.
don't get hit. Just leg lock them or something quick. And
Craig's got that MMA. Like he kind of started in MMA as well, so at least like he sort of knows how to like gauge the distance.
yeah, I don't.
There's not a lot of distance to gauge though. Once you're on top of someone hitting them, you kind of know where they
Yeah,
are.
true. Combat jiu-jitsu, you can only slap when they're on the ground. Hey, like kind of standing.
There's like 3 points of contact you gotta have. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'd need at least. I'd want some money. If I'm getting into the head, honestly.
Yeah, that's
Even with an open hand here.
yeah. Yeah, there was some hard shots yesterday.
And some wild matches on combat jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, Jordan looked good. He had that match with
Also.
Allsop. Yeah, he had like double underhook takedown, but then like Allsop just like rolled him through at one point and reversed it, and then it was just hard. Yeah, his control was just super good on the cage, and just like didn't let him back up, and
Just got his black belt from AOJ.
yeah, it's good.
Was it third at Brown Belt Worlds?
This one?
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, someone was saying his like bag got stolen or something.
Oh yeah, on the day. Yeah, I think they left everything but his medal. From what I heard. There's at least a nice
Honor among thieves.
Yeah, bro. If I'm getting my underwear stolen, I at least want to keep my medal.
Yeah, the medal. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Cool. Do you guys have any closing questions from behind the camera? Anything you want to ask, Eric?
Who was your best student?
Best student. Not Tom.
You've been copping it, hey, from Bobby and now from now from Aaron.
What did Bobby say?
Bobby, he just said that Tom sucks. Like, I just started ripping into it. He's like, yeah, he's like, some people are intuitive, some people are something else, and then there's Tom. I'm like, fuck. All right.
Yeah, well, the whole podcast rolled with Tom. It was like me, Jack, Julian, and then Bobby, and Tom. Yeah, didn't get a break in between each round. Then Bobby just went ham on Tom.
He like face choked him and all sorts of shit. It was brutal. Yeah.
Right. I don't think they can do very good.
He learned
Against
though.
Bobby?
He learned.
Well, Bobby's good though.
Yes.
Shark Tanked with Bobby as your last round is not fun.
No.
The EBI overtime master.
Ah, his back control is crazy.
Same.
And it's like you feel like you're defending his hands, and then it just comes over both hands, around the nose, and then
His
just
arms are so long.
Yeah.
So long.
Dude's built like a spider.
Crazy.
Yeah. 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 He went to throw, it was like shadowboxing, and he threw like a body, what would be a body knee for him, and it was like here, right where my nose
Oh,
is.
really?
Yeah, it's, the knee comes straight. I'm like, fuck you, bro. I'm not, never striking.
The
with you.
reach.
Yeah, no shot. No shot. I couldn't reach him with a kick, and he jabbed my face.
Actually?
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
shot.
I tried,
Or something?
no, I've got long legs, bro. I tried to teep him, and he like hits me in the nose.
Is that one?
What? Yeah. Yeah.
He's too long, bro. He's dead orchard.
Instagram.
What's he done now? Oh, the
Boxing guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
He did a jiu-jitsu match.
Ah, yeah, I saw that one.
Was it free for away? Free match, like no rule set, just against a boxer.
Yeah.
Got jiu-jitsu to work against a boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu works.
Yep. There you go. Did he attempt the supine guard theory that he was talking about?
I wonder if he just went dead orchard.
Yeah, maybe.
If he went dead orchard, surely you just pick him up.
Oh, yeah.
You reckon you pick someone up from a dead orchard?
Depends how strong you are.
Yeah, you'd have to have a good squat and deadlift.
Oh, yeah. It depends how much like that, like,
Controlling your head.
as
Yeah, if your
well.
back's fully bent,
just do
can't
rampage.
Let's go good morning or whatever.
I think it'd be pretty hard from Dead Orchard. Like a triangle, yeah, but Dead
I
Orchard.
think if he was like back when Bobby was like 60 kilos, maybe.
Yeah, you'd be like Bobby's weight class anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm like 75. Hey, last I checked, I was heavier than Bobby when he was in. He was like 73. I was 75. He's bulking at the moment, though.
He's bulking.
He's smashing HSPs.
Well, he's doing under 90s, so I hope so.
Yeah. Can you imagine if that guy put on like muscle? Like a Jack
His
Bobby?
dad's actually like quite large.
Is it?
He's a big dude. Like Bobby's got potential.
Just wait for the metabolism to slow down. And then just-
Oh, bro.
He doesn't eat anything though.
Yeah, he just doesn't. He just eats deli rocks.
Belly rocks.
Well, how is he going to survive with no deli rocks now?
Right, his mom.
Yeah, he's got family.
Right, he can actually get his laundry done now. He gets some home cooked meals.
You can bring a towel to the gym.
But that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never brings
Kaya
a
does the
towel.
same.
Nah, Kaya forgot it. I think.
Do we believe him?
Nah, I think you. Bobby just never brings a towel. That's
Bobby tried to justify it too. He's like, no, you don't need a towel. It's liberating.
like, just like eating food without cutlery. You know, it's liberating. You know.
I think, I think Bobby wore the same pants for every episode we've done.
Best part is they like go up to like, be like, here.
Yeah.
Like-
Did you see what Adam Jones said? He goes like, "Are those wrists coming out from your pants?" Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh man. Bobby had a tendency to get roasted every episode by like the guest.
Oh really?
Someone would just like make fun of it. Bilal on the first one was really funny. He just like every time Bobby would try to, talk and have his
Told him to shut up.
yeah, bro. He'd just be like,
He's trying to preach S&C.
yeah, and Bilal's like,
Bobby.
yeah,
Bobby.
yeah, and Bilal's
Bilal's
like, you
like,
have no right to talk about it as striking
Right.
condition. Yeah. Yeah, the Kenta one made me laugh. I was talking about his driving.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, Bobby's driving. Yeah,
Terrifying.
Yeah,
it is concerning.
Yeah, he offered to drive me home from the cafe once. I was like, nah, it's all good. I'll Uber home. Thank you.
You'll get home quick, but
Yeah. He'll break a record.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got a Tesla at least. So, like, if he is about to ram into the back of someone's car, at least it should stop.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. Surely that's the car that you cannot be bad at driving, right?
No,
Tesla.
bro.
But there's so many Tesla drivers that suck.
Terrible drivers
Yeah.
in Melbourne.
But it's made to like be drivable for anyone. Like it's meant to be really easy.
I don't understand what's going on, eh? You think with all the cameras,
Tesla versus
Like,
Melbourne drivers, bro.
People
This is-
accelerate too much, or what
Oh, bro, yeah. Like I had a lady on the way here. I'm on my motorbike, and she's like this far behind me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the race?
Oh, I don't know. What was the race? Hey, I was like, my rear brake comes on very slowly, but the light flashes early, so I just started tapping it to like try to freak the shit out of her. I got her at some point. She just like slammed the brake.
Oh, really?
And I was like, yeah, fuck you, and drove off.
Yeah, I do know Bobby was saying
Don't do that.
if you let go of the accelerator, it starts like the car starts braking straight away.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to always be on the accelerator.
That's his reasoning.
I don't know. Yeah, that's why he's going like 80 and 60 zone probably. But
Yeah.
bro, we were driving in the States one time, and we had a full car, and Bobby, we go up this hill, and on the bottom of the hill, there was just like, red light, full up. We can't see like all the people at the bottom of the hill. And as we're going up the hill, Bobby's like, keeps going. We see the people in front of us. Like, we yell at Bobby, Bobby! And he's like, what? He's like, I'm looking at the Ferrari, buddy. He's looking at a Ferrari dealership, and he nearly crashed.
fucking not surprised. They
Yeah, driving with Bobby is you pay. Yeah, you save money on an Uber, but you pay with like your mental health.
Years of your life, bro. The stress.
You could potentially be gone. Yeah, listen,
We miss him though.
we do miss Bobby.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I guess we should probably.
Let's wrap this up. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Any closing thoughts?
That was going for Hugh, but almost.
Oh, sorry.
No.
That's
Hey,
right.
thank you very much for coming on. That was really good. JubJub app, Breatheeze, Vitalitea. Check them out. We've got a bunch of affiliate codes. Get you good discounts and send us money.
You can buy